Good afternoon, sorry. The final team presenting this afternoon is North Dakota State University. As a reminder, please turn off your phones, please don't text, and if you're in here, please remain for the duration of the presentation, including Q&A. And just a final reminder, last chance to get in your Nama's Choice ballots. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Miley Herman, and we thank you, the Board of Directors at Central Dakota Co-op, for listening today on our presentation on Midwest marble beef. What is perfection? Is it that Vincent van Gogh painting hanging on the wall of a museum, each stroke an act of precision and exactness? Or is it when you mow your lawn and you get it all the same height and you don't even miss a spot, like I sometimes do? Or maybe perfection is that Saturday night backyard barbecue with your friends and neighbors. You have some steaks on the grill, a glass of wine in your hand, and you're able to talk and catch up about your lives. If you ask me, though, the real perfection is that sizzling Midwest marble steak on the grill. A perfect cross between lowline and Wagyu cattle. You see, the lowline mama has a high calving ease and is super efficient, while the Wagyu bull brings in this intense marbling and lots of other flavors. CNN even calls it the caviar of beef. So when you put the two together, you get affordable price and premium quality, which is exactly what we're after. Central Dakota Co-op is built on 3 different pillars. They are tradition, quality, and stewardship. You see, as our name implies, we're looking at the Midwest, which runs deep in tradition. It's in our blood. But when you have something so traditional, you have to make sure that the quality is there. Otherwise, they'll notice when it's even just a little bit off. To have that high quality, we have to have stewardship. Central Dakota Co-op wants to be stewards to our producers, our consumers, our retailers, and most importantly, the cattle that becomes our product. We want to make sure that every step of our process is just right so that we can deliver the perfect product. And now David and Emily will walk you through the market analysis.
Thank you, Miley. From Insider Hollywood to Project Runway, America loves its trends. The Midwest is no different. In fact, 3 of our targeted cities have been named in Travel and Leisure's top foodie cities of America. But let's step back a second. Miley just mentioned that the Midwest is all about tradition. How do we mix tradition and trends? Well, we want to take that tradition and spice it up with new food concepts, international cuisine, and farm-branded fare. People want to know where their food comes from, and these trends will entice and bring in our consumers. But who are these consumers exactly? Emily?
Thank you, David. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to the Midwest Mama. Meet Charlene, Bethany, and Suzanne. Now, Charlene just got promoted at 3M. Bethany is the author of her own food blog, and Suzanne is a stay-at-home mom, which can be a job in and of itself. Now, these women on Thursday evenings get together and have barefoot wine and books with their other friends, and they use this time to chat and talk about what's going on in their lives, their families, with their other friends, and what's trending on Twitter. But these women are not only aware of the trends, these women set the trends. They are the opinion leaders of the Midwest, and people follow them. And there happen to be 1.2 other million women just like them. So whether it's Charlene, who's looking to impress her clients with a nice dinner, Bethany, who needs that new food product to talk about on her blog, or if it's Suzanne, who just desperately needs a quiet night alone with her husband, a glass of wine, and a nice steak dinner. These women are looking for the highest quality, superior food products to put before their families, their friends, their neighbors, and their clients. But most importantly, these women are looking for the highest quality food product to put before themselves. And Central Dakota Co-op can give that to them with Midwest marble beef, the perfect product.
In the Midwest alone, there's over 200 million pounds of beef consumed annually. Of that, we'll be targeting the 39 million pounds that is organic, all-natural, and grass-fed beef. We will also be targeting over 3,000 retail locations to give us as many options as possible when it comes to outlets in the Midwest.
Of the 39 million pounds that David has just mentioned, Central Dakota Co-op intends to position Midwest marble beef with a 2% market share for our third year, bringing us to over 700,000 pounds of beef sold. Premium, quality beef that is affordable for our consumers. Now, before any product can actually hit the market, it needs to undergo an intense review. We've designed a SWOT analysis for you today, covering our strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities. Strengths that this product has is its background story and the ability to provide that to our consumers. Our Midwest mamas want to know exactly where this beef came from and how it got from farm to fork. Weaknesses that we face as a cattle industry is the biological expansion limitation of cows only having one calf per year. Threats we face as an agriculture industry is the threat of weather and disease. However, those can be monitored from previous years and prepared for the future. Opportunities that this unique product has is the opportunity for alternative markets. Whether it's selling to fine dining locations in the metropolitan areas, having chefs endorse our product on televised channels such as the Food Network, or selling online to those Midwest mamas that might not be in the Midwest. And further to talk about this unique product is Audrey with our business proposition.
Thank you, Emily. Now, as we stated, we want to give perfection. Our business proposition is set up to tell you exactly what Midwest Marble is and why it is perfection. Midwest Marble combines the desirable marbling trait of the Wagyu breed with the efficiency of the lowline breed. This combination gives a premier flavor at a competitive price. Our strategy to increase member income is to provide a consistent supply of beef that is of higher quality than Angus and similar breeds. Midwest Marble will be enthusiastically consumed by health-conscious, selective consumers who know what they want and they care about that story of where their food comes from. Our Year 3 goals presented before you is to reach a 50% market awareness of our Midwest mamas. This number is reduced from the executive summary before you. While we know that this is still an aggressive goal, it is attainable given our budget. We will also sell 724,000 pounds of beef and reach a profit margin of 12%. To reach these goals, we will assume that all Midwest Marble is of uniform quality, that we meet all requirements to be all natural, grass-fed, free-range, and organic, as well as we meet all requirements set by the USDA of breed, branding, and grading. We'll now move on to our action plan, beginning with our product positioning and packaging. As we stated, we want to give our consumers a premier flavor to enjoy right in the comfort of their own home. While doing this, we will provide them with an aesthetically pleasing packaging. A black background with a green label really accents that all-natural red coloring. On that green label, we will provide them with a QR scan code. Midwest mamas will be able to scan this code and find out production methods, as well as exactly where that cut of beef was born and raised. I'll now move it over to Isaac.
Thank you, Audrey. Central Dakota Co-op will price its products based on the cost of production, the quality of the meat, and the breed of the animal. The products will be strategically priced so as to be competitive with other choice and prime products on the market within our targeted cities. You see, the efficiency of the low line is what creates the opportunity to price a premium quality product in a more affordable manner. Now, the table demonstrates a comparison of competitive breeds and their producers within our region. As you can see by the comparison of a retail ribeye cut, our products will be priced slightly above most choice and choice prime products, while being drastically less than a strictly prime product like a purebred Wagyu. Next, we'll look at the placement of Midwest Marble products. As David mentioned, we've identified over 3,000 potential retail locations in our 9 targeted cities in years 1 through 3. These retail locations range from specialized meat stores like Ye Olde Butcher Shop in Rochester, Minnesota, to health-oriented grocers like a Whole Foods Market, to more standard local and regional grocery chains like a Lund's or Byerly's. Now, these retail locations were chosen after market research indicated circumstances of sustained, specialized demand for products similar to our own. A specific example of this is a Whole Foods location in the upper Midwest that stocks a product similar to our own, of slightly lower quality and comparable price, that's delivered every Sunday evening to be stocked prior to Monday morning. The purchasing manager at this location tells us it is rare for this product to remain on the shelf past Wednesday of the same week. Now we'll look at our placement goals for Midwest Marble. We will aim to achieve a 10% market penetration in the first year of our product's introduction to each of our targeted cities. In year one, we'll start with our largest and most lucrative market of Chicago and the greater Chicago metro area. In this area, we've identified over 1,200 potential retail locations, which will have a presence in 129 stores. In year two, we'll target another 4 cities with over 900 potential retail locations, which will have a presence in 90 stores. And in year three, we'll target another 4 cities with over 800 potential retail locations, which will have a presence in 82 stores, bringing our year 3 total to 301 stores, thereby capitalizing on that 10% penetration strategy. Now Audrey's going to take you through our promotions.
Thank you, Isaac. Now, no market plan would be complete without a promotional plan. But we don't just want to promote Midwest Marble, we want to build those relationships. And not just with our consumers, but with our retailers of Midwest Marble. Central Dakota Co-op realizes that our retailers are a critical part in order for Midwest Marble to be pushed through the production plan to then be pulled off the shelves by Midwest Mamas. That is why we won't just see them as someone who sells our beef, we will rather see them as our partners. We will provide them with the education and knowledge about Midwest Marble to let them know why Midwest Marble is the premier quality beef that is the right choice for their consumers. We will provide them with things such as demonstration and sampling, supermarket weekly ads, and in-store promotions. Such as the pamphlets before you, this is just one way we will hit in-store promotions. These will be given to all of our retailers to then be placed by our meat case. Consumers are then able to take these from the meat case and read through them, meeting our producers, looking for additional QR scan codes, and then seeing that nutritional value of the Midwest Marble compared to other competitive cuts of beef. We will also be using things such as social media. Pinterest is home of 5.7 billion pins of food. In that 5.7, 2.6 million recipes. This is just one way that Midwest Mamas will be able to interact with each other, share their experience, share their story, and explain why they use Midwest Marble to feed their family. We'll also use things such as food blogs. The food blogs set in front of you will not be used in one way, but 2. Our first way of using various sizes of slogan, advertisements, and logos throughout the food blog, as well as providing the authors with Midwest Marble. As Emily stated earlier, Bethany doesn't just look for the trends, she sets those trends, and we are enthused to give her the Midwest Marble to share her story and share her excitement. We'll also be using things such as magazines. These magazines are some of the top-read magazines in our targeted cities. This is just one more way that Midwest Mamas can learn more about Midwest Marble. They can share their excitement, and we are enthused to get this started. I'll now be handing it back over to Isaac.
Thank you, Audrey. The final facet of Central Dakota's promotional plan is a 16-destination promotional event schedule. Now, these events will range from booming state fairs in Minnesota, Illinois, and Nebraska to local foodie events like Thursdays on 1st and 3rd in Rochester, to eagerly anticipated summer traditions like the Taste of Chicago in Grant Park. Now, the essence of our attendance at these events is not only to drive product and brand awareness, but to create a connection with our potential customers on the basis of sight, sound, taste, and experience. Customers will first see our booth with our company logo, our company advertising, and they'll see our meat products in the packaging they'd see at their local grocer. Next, they'll hear about our company and its vision. They'll hear the backstory of our wholesome regional producers, and in the background, they'll hear our steaks sizzling on an open wood fire grill. And as they begin to waft the aroma from the grill, they'll have the opportunity to taste the intense, savory flavor profile that our meat products have to offer. And it's the combination of these that will create the experience that will remind these customers there is only one steak they need to buy to complete that perfect meal. And now Thomas will take you through our financials.
Thank you, Isaac. Now, as a cooperative, Central Dakota's primary purpose is to provide profitability back to our 20 North Dakota cattle producers. We will achieve this through means of premiums, patronage, and other benefits and incentives. But before we can start talking about a final dollar, let's go ahead and take an in-depth look at our income statement for years 1, 2, and 3. Now, as a cooperative, our entire working capital is based solely on the number of harvested head per year. In year 1, we will harvest 1,000 head of cattle, giving us a $4.1 million gross sales. This will increase to year 3 to 2,000 head of slaughtered cattle, giving us an $8.2 million gross sales. If we look at our cost of goods sold, this includes the live shipping of our cattle, the harvesting, the process and inspection of our beef, as well as the retail packaging and shipping throughout the Midwest. For a cooperative to pay for the cost of live shipping to the processing facility may be a little bit out of the ordinary. However, at Central Dakota, we believe it is imperative to preserve the identity of every animal from farm to fork and to ensure that stewardship is implemented into every facet of our production process. Once our cattle reach the processing facility in Aberdeen, South Dakota, they will go through harvest and processing. Post-harvest, we will achieve a 500-pound hanging carcass weight, upon which the producers will receive a 25% premium over market price. Our 72% retail carcass yield will give us 360 pounds of beef to hit store shelves. This beef will then go through inspection and grading done by a USDA official. Inspection is a mandatory process and is paid for by your tax dollars. However, grading is an optional process done by the same official. Post-grading, we will achieve a 10% prime, a 70% high choice, and 20% choice product. Our products will then go through our custom packaging and labeling, moving to the trucks to hit our store shelves throughout the Midwest. If we take a look at our gross margin, we will increase from $1.6 million in year 1 to $3.3 million in year 3. Our expenses as a cooperative include our marketing and advertising surrounding our Midwest marble beef, our payroll, benefits, and travel for our sales team and staff, as well as our operating expenses as a cooperative. If we take a look at our largest line item is of course our marketing and advertising. If I can direct your attention to our media plan, this includes all of our targeted print and online advertisements, including paid social media. If you refer your attention to the bottom, we have our distribution support, which includes all of our customized point of purchase material like the pamphlets you have before you. Our total expenses will increase from $1.2 million in year 1 to $2 million in year 3 as we expand as a business. All expenses paid, our net income will increase from $400,000 in year 1 to $1.3 million in year 3. Upon achieving this number, our producers will receive a 25% patronage dividend with an average payout in year 3 of $16,000. Now here's our final dollar. And in year 1, we'll have a 7.6% profit margin, increasing to 10.8% in year 2, giving us our year 3 goal of 12% profit margin. Now I'm going to pass it back over to Isaac, and he's going to walk you through monitoring and measurement.
Thank you, Thomas. Central Dakota will gauge the efficiency and the effectiveness of its marketing plan and marketing strategy by monitoring and measuring all of its year 3 goals. We'll start by using tools like Giga Alerts and Google Analytics to track brand-related activity across the web, while monitoring platform-specific interactions between our Midwest mamas. It is here that we will promote and reward positive feedback and positive word of mouth that will drive brand awareness amongst our target audience, while also publicly and platform-specifically addressing negative feedback and negative word of mouth so as to maintain the integrity of our brand and its reputation. Next, we will closely monitor our early stages of production, distribution, and consumption to assure the feasibility of the production goals our producers are aiming for. Next, we will analyze our financials on a monthly, quarterly, and annual basis to again maintain the integrity of these goals while assuring the feasibility of our distribution network options and maintaining a return to our producers. Now, we understand that entering an industry like beef, we will deal with changing market structure, fluctuating demand, and fixed supply constraints. Due to this, we have put together a detail-oriented collection of contingency plan actions that will mitigate our risk in entering the industry. These contingency plan actions will assure sustained demand and maintain distribution options for our product. The bottom line is, because of the industry we're a part of, We have prepared our plan's flexibility accordingly. I'll now hand it over to Miley to wrap things up.
Thank you. As we have said throughout our presentation, Central Dakota Co-op doesn't want to just be another brand on your shelf that you glance over. We are going to use our pillars of tradition, quality, and especially stewardship to create that relationship between ourselves, our consumers, our producers, and our business partners. We are going to become their friends and their neighbors, which will help us achieve our Year 3 goals. So the most important thing to remember is you are just one steak away from perfection. And now we would be happy to answer any of your questions.
I might have a question or two. First question is, did you do any primary research for people as far as whether or not they like this type of beef? When you talk about Midwest marble, that sounds to me like it's kind of fatty. I mean, it needs marbling, don't get me wrong, I love marbling, it's wonderful, but it sounds a little fatty, number one. Number two, the price elasticity, what are they really willing to pay for, and how much of this are they going to eat? Did you do any primary research on that?
That was an excellent question, thank you. But when it comes to our Midwest mamas and whether or not these women would actually be interested in purchasing that product, a bunch of us actually went out into the retail locations that we would be putting this product into and did interception interviews with these women and asked, what are you looking for in a product, and what are you looking for when you search for premium quality products? And the top 4 choices were local, grass-fed, all-natural, and organic, and that's how we positioned our product. When you say the marbling and our health-conscious consumers, these women are health-conscious as what they're putting into their bodies, as well as if it was healthy to the earth when it was produced. However, even your healthy person is going to indulge on occasion and have that ice cream sundae. But when they do have that ice cream sundae, they're going to buy that premium vanilla product. And Midwest Marble is going to be that premium vanilla product with the marbling that's going to make it taste perfect.
If I know low-line cattle pretty well, they really aren't fatty at all because they're grass-fed, but they have that good grain-fed taste. So why would we call it Midwest Marble?
So with the influence of the Wagyu is where we're finding our terminal traits. Our combination, our F1 cross, is going to be a sire of a Wagyu, which will provide the terminal traits, the marbling, these desired flavors. The low line, as far as the dam is concerned, will give us the lifelong traits, like the efficiency, the ability to produce the product on a reasonable manner.
You indicate 39 million pounds of natural organic beef. What's the long-term prospect for whether that will increase, decrease? What are we looking for? Can we increase our market size going forward?
So like we said, the trend is that people want to know exactly where their food's coming from. They're very health conscious. They want to know that our products are being wholesomely produced. That way, the products that come into their bodies are good for them and is good for the earth. And so that trend is only increasing, especially in the Midwest.
So those 129 retail outlets, grocery stores we want to go into in Chicago in year 1, how are we doing that? They don't right now currently have an empty spot in their meat counter that they're waiting for us to call them. What is the plan? Did we account for any cost associated with it in the financials?
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. The financials relate to the marketing expenses pertaining to our sales staff and their salary. We'll have a business connection team that will be out getting their boots dirty on the ground, hitting stores, mostly aiming for chains on our initial aim at the target market, on the precedent that if we can get into one store in a chain, it'll open up doors to get into that same chain in different stores based on their purchasing process. And to answer your question about the competitiveness would be based on their current stock. So the example I said about the Whole Foods location that stocks a product similar to our own, in that case, we would look to replace that product. We would appeal to the sense of the purchasing manager that we have a product of premium quality higher than what they currently stock at a comparable price. In the in the incident of a Lund's or a Byerly's or someone like that might have 1, 2, or 3 grass-fed premium options, we would look to get into the store alongside that product at an introductory small location and look to prove product performance and eventually replace a product within that store.
How are we for profitability for those grocery outlets? It's a similar price. Is it similar profitability for them?
It's very similar profitability. Some higher on our premium cuts, but very similar on our retail cuts and our ground beef.
Okay.
A question, you've picked the Midwest Mamas, correct, as your primary audience. With this type of beef and specialty, and instead of as the secondary audience, are you looking at the male at all? Because they tend to do most of the grilling. Now, realizing the Midwest Mama does the shopping, but when it becomes an event like this, I think they both go to these specialty meat shops to pick the quality meat for that special occasion. So have you looked at any, did any analysis on the male segment here?
Absolutely. So our secondary audience is actually appealing to a chef type. So hoping to get endorsements from chefs and be able to give their reviews on it. And so gender specific aside, the chefs is our next audience. We are also targeting, if you saw in our event schedule, we have home and garden shows. So we have gentlemen who are going out and purchasing grills of upwards to $2,000, and we're going to appeal to their senses, saying that if you're going to buy a premium grill, you'd be willing to put a premium product on that. So we are appealing to both genders and both positions in the household, if you will.
Thank you.
You just answered one of my questions on chefs being your next target market, so I'll scratch that one. Tell us a little bit about on the supply chain side, on your grower side. How are you managing those growers? What's the expectation there? How are you managing herd sizes to inventories that you all need? How does expansion come in? How are you managing those 20 growers and the expectation from an inventory standpoint, a head count standpoint?
So just as Isaac said, we have sales team getting their boots dirty. Maybe not necessarily boots, maybe more sort of dress pants and slacks. But we'll have boots on the ground on the back end as well. So our cooperative has a team that will be going around doing producer tours, ensuring that our production process is consistent through our 20 producers. As far as the herd sizes, we're working with our cattle producers on the assumption that we've already been working with them for 3 years. It takes 3 years to become an organic producer. And so we've been on a production cycle to ensure that we have enough product to give out in year 1 and thus 2 and 3. And so we're working both with our market steers, the herd size for the market, as well as breeding. And so on average, our producers in year 3 will have a herd size of roughly 275 cattle, and that's split up between breeding heifers, breeding cows, and then, of course, our market animals.
Okay, thank you.
Talk to me a little bit about these fairs and shows that we're going to. We're going to have booths there, displays. What do you see happening there? When somebody visits the display, what are they going to go away with?
Yeah, I can address that. Of course, as I mentioned, it's the experience that we're really going for. But on top of that, it's an opportunity to mix our demographics. When we look at a state fair, we're not only there for a Midwest Mama to see us at a state fair of over 1 million attendees. We're mixing that demographic of the males, of perhaps someone who will treat themselves to a nice steak once a month, once a year. So we're mixing those demographics. And what they're going to take away from it is the quality that comes with the price and the quality that comes with whatever cut they choose. These people don't need to go buy a ribeye for $25.99. They can buy a retail cut of a skirt steak for $12.99, which is extremely reasonable considering the quality of the product, the traceability of the product, and the 4 features of the organic, homegrown, all of that. So that's what we're trying to mix into those promotional events.
So I guess what you're telling me is that there won't be sampling.
I didn't mention the sampling. I apologize.
So there'll be sampling. And
there will be sampling, yes.
Okay, and so they get a nice taste of what's going on with it.
Yep.
Will there be couponing?
There will not be couponing at that. That will deal with our weekly supermarket ads and our promotion of positive feedback and positive word of mouth on social landscapes.
Any co-op dollars to the stores, grocery stores?
In what facet?
Well, if they're going to put our brand in an ad, they're going to want some money from us.
Absolutely. So there will be a payback of 10 cents per coupon redeemed on those weekly ads.
Okay, thank you.
When you're spending $25 a pound for a ribeye, I think we're all aware that if they cook it incorrectly, it's not their fault. It was a bad cut of meat. So, be honest.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas for recipe cards or instructions on how to cook it for optimum taste so that you kind of cut that off at the pass?
Yes, actually, we do. That's an excellent question. If you flip over the point of purchase pamphlets that we have in front of you, you'll notice on the back side there are 2 QR scan codes. And on the top, you can visit our Facebook page, and that will also directly link you to the bottom one. If you scan the bottom one with your smartphone, you'll be directly linked to premium and Wagyu breeding or Wagyu recipes for these Midwest mamas to really understand exactly how to cook this correctly and successfully to have that perfect flavor.